Gulshan, Jyotsna, Prerit. Very good evening, everyone. Very good afternoon and very good evening. Gulshan, Prerit, Karishma, and Jyotsna, welcome to the session. So I think everybody has appeared for the test. Gulshan, Jyotsna, text me. Yes, no. Karishma, Prerit, and I hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is joining. So Prerit is done, Karishma is done. Very good. Some tough questions right there in that test. I can agree. Some of you all have got them right, and that was very, very exciting to see. Not everybody has got it correct. And to see some of them being correct, I know that that is amazing. That is really great to see that. Gulshan, how about you? Have you done it? Very good, Jyotsna, you have done it. Nice to know that.
नेगेटिव सर
आप कह रहे थे, आप कह रहे थे मुझे आप करोगे, तो क्या हुआ? हो नहीं, कर नहीं पाए
यस
क्या?
सर आई विल डू सर आई विल डू द टेस्ट
नहीं नहीं, क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं आप? फिर तो आप ग्राउंड पेपर्स के लिए भी मना कर दो। डीजीसी को बोलो मैं नहीं दूंगा एग्जाम्स, मुझे
सर
नहीं।
वो एक्चुअल में वो जो बाकी लेक्चर्स थे लेक्चर 50 के बाद वो अटेंड कर रहा था मैं तो लेक्चर ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाया मैं
ये क्या रीजन हो गया भाई? लाइव लेक्चर मिस कर दोगे? अपनी पढ़ाई अपनी वजह से मिस कर दोगे? यही मौका था वो पढ़ने का, और टाइम नहीं है वो पढ़ने के लिए क्या? कितने
आई विल
इंपॉर्टेंट
गिव
सेशंस
टेस्ट
हो
सर
रहे हैं, एग्जाम की तैयारी हो रही है, कितने इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन हो रहे हैं, एग्जाम की तैयारी हो रही है, मिस कर रहे हैं, डाउट सॉल्व हो रहे हैं, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करने जा रहे हैं, वो मिस हो रहे हैं। अच्छी बात है, आप खुद से इतना पढ़ रहे हो, इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो, आई रियली अप्रिशिएट इट। बट फिर मैं भी करा रहा हूँ, वो भी अटेंड करो ना। आप अच्छा ही कर रहे हो, आप कुछ गलत नहीं कर रहे हो, बट फिर आप वो मिस क्यों कर रहे हो? ये कोई वजह नहीं हुई ना, अरे वो मेरा टॉपिक हो गया, ऐसे सेम टॉपिक वापस करा रहे हैं। अगर ऐसा है तो सबके सारे आंसर्स करेक्ट आने चाहिए ना। या आ भी रहे हैं, आप क्या रहे नहीं आ रहे पता ही नहीं है हमें, तो ऐसे नहीं चलता। बट आप ठीक है, कर लो, है ना। नेक्स्ट टाइम प्लीज डोंट डू दैट। अभी वो पूरा 1/60 विच इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट। अब वो फर्क ये नहीं है कि क्यों नहीं गया आप, ये है कि वो कब करोगे आप। when will you refresh that, when will you do the exam prep for that particular concept जो आपने मिस किया है? when do you plan to do that? That is more important right now, because you have to do it. You cannot think सर मैंने वो तो नहीं करना बट मैं बाकी सब कर लूंगा। तो क्या इरादा है, प्लीज मुझे बताओ।
सर अब तो लाइव लेक्चर्स अटेंड करूंगा और उसके बाद अभी वो जो लेक्चर्स थे उसके रिकॉर्डिंग जो यूट्यूब है
रिकॉर्डिंग
वो
मेरे को कौन ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है रिकॉर्डिंग से? वैसे तो
सर टेस्ट मैं वीकेंड पे देने का प्लान कर रहा हूँ सर मतलब अभी जो अपकमिंग वीकेंड आएगी उस पे
ओके, ओके फाइन, स्टडी एंड गिव, नो प्रॉब्लम,
यस सर
and let me know if you have any doubts. So students, warm welcome. I think Chaitanya has also joined us. और कोई आ रहा है क्या? I'm waiting to see if Nukul is joining. Rohita, is she here? Rohita, are you here? I'm not sure. Muskan will be not here. आदित्य कहाँ है? आदित्य का चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा है, नॉट श्योर। Just give me a second, we'll get started. Everybody write down this question. By what amount must you change your rate of descent? Just note this question, okay? By what amount must you change your rate of descent given a 10 knot decrease in a headwind on a 3-degree glide slope? Abhi, isme I want to tell you all, out of eight responses, I've got only one correct response on this question. I've got 7 incorrect responses. I am thinking, why the confusion? So it's a very simple thing. The question, I would say again, students, on a 3-degree glide slope, with a 10 knot decrease in headwind, what will be the change made to your rate of descent on a 3-degree glide slope? I'll say again, I'll read it verbatim. By what amount must you change your rate of descent given a 10 knot decrease in headwind on a 3-degree glide slope? So, Rohita, welcome. Chaitanya, welcome. Very good evening. Jyotsna, Karishma, very good evening. Gulshan and Prerit, once again, very good evening, students. The question is, okay, where is the question? Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. So the question is, by what amount would you change your rate of descent given a 10 knot decrease in headwind on a 3-degree glide slope? Rohita, you have given the test, right? I think apart from Gulshan, everybody has given the test. Krishma has also given the test. Everybody has given the test. That is good. I really liked how everyone was going about it. It was tough one. A few questions I'm sure are very tough. So what's the answer to this? Please give me answers. Once again, do you want to try and solve, students? Because only one correct answer I have got. So students, it's a very simple thing. Karishma, very good. How much? What is the formula? We'll think about it, students. Gather your thoughts. What's the formula? Change in ROD for a 3-degree glide slope. The formula is pretty simple. It's 5 into change in the speed. So if my change in speed is 10 degrees, 10 knots, then change in ROD is 5 into 10, that is 50 feet. So I know it's 50 feet per minute. But should I increase my rate of descent or decrease my rate of descent? What is the change that I need to apply? Increase or decrease? So we have a rule of thumb. When ground speed decreases, ROD decreases. When ground speed decreases, here the headwind component has decreased by 10 knots. It means my airspeed has gained 10 knots. Now, this trick, if you cannot think and apply by yourself, then you need to see why. Because you did not read the question carefully. If you read the question carefully, it is very simply given a 10 knot decrease in headwind. A 10 knot decrease in headwind. So any value of headwind you had, that was reducing your ground speed. That headwind component has reduced by 10. So you gain that ground speed by 10 knots. So the rule of thumb is when ground speed increases, here you have gained 10 knots. Because of 10 knot headwind decrease, that your rate of descent also increases. So 50 feet by the formula increases by the rule of thumb. Understanding the rule of thumb, understanding the impact of reduction of headwind. Reduction in headwind increases your ground speed is the learning element from this concept. 30 seconds explanation is given, but if you don't listen, you will not remember or you will not understand. So I don't understand why you got it wrong, students. Did you get it wrong because you thought ground speed decreases? 6 students have got that wrong. One student sadly got it as 30 feet per minute. Decrease that too. Why 30 per minute? I don't understand. The formula is very simple. Change in ROD is equal to 5 into change in ground speed. Something to think about, right? Easy? Any disputes on this anybody has? Anything that you could not understand? Headwind will reduce TAS. 50 feet per minute decrease is wrong answer because headwind will reduce TAS, but the headwind has reduced here by 10 knots. So headwind component that reduces TAS has reduced. And it's all about ground speed right now because here we term the airspeed as ground speed. And that's why we are accounting for headwind, tailwind. So headwind decreasing, it means my speed increasing. My speed increasing, change in ROD also increases. Jyotsna, are you following? Anybody wants to give me a valid reason why you got it wrong? Just asking. Why do you think
Sir, I thought
made
that
that
it is
mistake?
decreasing, so I thought the ROD will decrease.
Sorry, Chaitanya, say again, read you two.
Sir, I thought ground speed is decreasing by 10 knots, so I resemble that ROD will also decrease.
जो तुम बोल रहे हो you thought, वो तो मैंने पहले ही बोल दिया ना, वही गलती की होगी.
Yes, sir.
तो आपको अंदाजा है मैं ये पहले काफी बार बोल चुका हूँ कि ये गलतियां नहीं करनी है. तो आगे से ध्यान रहे कि आज पता चल गया है तो ये गलती ना हो स्टूडेंट्स. इट्स अ लॉजिक दैट यू हैव टू यूज इन योर इक्वेशंस. People will not give you direct questions and direct answers. I wish exams were that easy, students. I would have wanted the same for you. I don't like complicated equations myself when I think like a student. And it's not a difficult thing to do because these things are just uh, small equations connected in series. So Chaitanya, think about it. Why did you make that mistake and how can you prevent yourself from making that mistake? Think. Everybody got it wrong. It's not just Chaitanya. Chaitanya knows why he got it wrong. He's going to work on it. Be careful in understanding the questions talking about reduction in headwind component, reduction not in the ground speed. So why was I jumping it down on the easier path? Why did I not take a while and try to investigate inside? Why am I not having that curiosity is the question then. People can say 1,000 different things to explain what you're going through, but if you don't understand it, then it is irrelevant, students. It's simple, but 1 mark. Ask that student who gets stuck on 69. Just talk to that person once. And this is just our mistake, nobody else's, that we don't study enough or we don't study proper. But be very careful now that you're studying. Make sure you never make this mistake again. I'm not worried about you making mistakes in the class. This is where you learn. I'm worried about when you're not learning from the mistakes. Okay? Remember this. And students who are instructed to keep your videos on, what's your problem? You're not even giving me any reason as to why you're doing it or why you're not doing it, and you're not even doing it. Like I don't like asking for things again and again, not even in my personal life, students. Chalo, we have to do more questions. Let's get set, students. We don't have much time. We only have an hour. It's a special session I'm keeping today. Good. Let's make the most of the time. Easy. Can we move on to the next one? Students, be happy that you have reached a point that you have got majority of your answers right. Good score. The average is above 70. I'm very happy because it was a tough one. I was just pushing y'all to just break the ice, you know. You're very lucky. Where is it? Which is the next question? Okay. Next question, students. On a 5% glide slope, your ground speed is 150 knots. On a 5% glide slope, your ground speed is 150 knots. What should be your rate of descent to maintain the glide slope? I don't know why you have got it wrong, students. This is a very classic situation. Rate of descent for a non-5-degree glide slope is 5 into ground speed into 5 by 3. If there is a printing error in the question, I can understand, take responsibility that, okay, शायद error था, सबने सही mark किया. But no, some have marked something, some have marked something, some have marked something. So nobody is getting the same answer. Why so? Ask yourself. Don't you have a formula for the same? Add the formula, students. Write down the formula. Rate of descent is equal to 5 into ground speed into glide slope divided by 3. Put that in your formula. Okay. Even if your glide slope is 3, use that formula. If your glide slope is not 3, use the same formula, making it much more easy for you. What is that formula? RD is equal to 5 into ground speed into glide slope angle divided by 3. What is the answer? Give me answers in the chat box, everyone. Chaitanya, solve and give. Everyone give. Quick. Should be easy. Put it directly in your calcs. Make a rough calculation for your questions. Karishma is getting it. Rohita is getting it. But your answers are not correct. And option में तो है ही नहीं वो answers. Options in the answer are 750 feet per minute, 450 feet per minute, 900 feet per minute, 650 feet per minute. Students, I don't mean to be angry. I'm just talking and solving, okay? Just being a little stern in the way I'm talking, but I'm not unhappy with anyone. I'm just saying that, yeah, come on, don't make such mistakes. This is a simple situation. No answers are incorrect. It's okay. Try your best. और सबने आंसर्स दिए भी नहीं अभी तक. चलो चलो आंसर्स दो. कितना टाइम लग रहा है सॉल्व करने के लिए? तो आप सोच रहे हो सर ये 5 डिग्रीज नहीं है, ये 5% है. करेक्ट स्टूडेंट्स? Anybody noticed if it's degree or is it percent? Just think about it. गुलशन आपने लिखा है क्वेश्चन? सुचिता,
सर मेरा
to the class.
नेटवर्क
Very good evening. गुलशन क्या बोल रहे हो?
सर नेटवर्क इश्यू था सर मेरे को.
ठीक है गुलशन. Sorry I asked.
Sir, after ground speed, I couldn't write. Like on a 5 degrees, 5% glide slope, your ground speed is.
Suchita, you have given the test. Have you given the test? Test 2?
Negative, sir. Sir,
Okay.
I'll give it over the weekend.
Are you well revised? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
well
About
revised about those concepts 1/60 and everything?
yes, sir.
Have you seen the question paper?
No, sir.
No problem. The first question was on a 3-degree glide slope, what change of ROD will you make to at a point when you have a decrease in the headwind component by 10 knots? Students, did I explain it correctly? Please help me if I've correctly explained it in a different way. And I'll help you understand this 5% thing also, okay? It's very simple. And I don't blame you if you didn't get it, but I'm very happy that some of you all got it right. Now, it's a pointer, it's a question. Did you get it right just by marking it as a fluke? Or did you get it right by just thinking through? I can believe you got it right thinking through. Because, what do we say? You must have put some logic there, right? I trust you with that. Okay, 1 second. Chaitanya, you've got the right answer. How have you done that answer? Please share. Very happy to see that. Students, the second question is, I think it's on a 5% glide slope. 5% glide slope. Your ground speed is 150 knots. 5%. What should be your rate of descent to maintain the glide slope? What should be your rate of descent to maintain the glide slope? This is number 2. Question number 2. Sushita, have you noted down the questions?
Negative, sir.
Chaitanya, do you mind sharing your technique? How did you do it? Seems like everybody should
I multiplied
just that.
150.
Sorry, say again.
Sir, I multiplied 5 with 150.
You multiplied 5 with 150. Okay. Students, can you see the screen? Wait, okay. Students, Gulshan, I want to see your video on. You have not put your video on. Chaitanya ने कर लिया, आपने नहीं किया. आपको भी कहा गया है गुलशन. किधर हो आप? दिखाई नहीं दे रहे हो मुझे. Nice to see you, Gulshan and Chaitanya. Chalo. Very good. Now 5%. What do you understand by 5%? Let's say you have 100 knots, 200 knots. Okay, you have two speeds. If I have to tell you what is 5% of 100 knots, you will say, sir, just 5 knots. I say, what is 5% of 200 knots? Then you need a calculator to find it. 5%. How do you find out 5%? Students, use your scientific calci. And 5 divided by 100 into the total value is one way you can simply do it. 5% is 5 out of 100. If you don't even know how to directly use it, you do 5 divided by 100 into 200. What do you get? You get 10. So you get the value as 10 knots. This value is very important. In this question, you have 5% and the glide slope 5% being something related to this percentage of the ground speed. What is your ground speed? Your ground speed is 150 knots. So first find out 5% of 150 knots and then I'll tell you what the application is all about. 5% of 150, it will be 7.5 knots. What do I do with this value? 7.5 knots. It means this value given to my glide slope means that at this speed, my aircraft making a 5% glide slope will mean that at 150 knots for 150 nautical miles, it will drop a vertical height of 5% of 150, that is 7.5 nautical miles. So this relationship is a way to measure your glide slope represented by percent of glide slope, where you calculate that, okay, 5% means whatever the speed is, that much distance when the aircraft travels, the height reduced by the aircraft would be as per the percentage, where the percentage is related to the ground speed. So this is something new for you to learn. I want you all to understand this carefully and try and apply it to another option that I'll give you right now. So right now, you will be like, okay, what do I do and how do I convert it into feet per minute? Then, firstly, try to convert nautical miles into feet and see what do you get. So use your CX3. Your rate of descent with respect to your question, whatever answer you are getting on the CX3, what is it? 7.5 nautical miles in feet. How much do you get? Chalo, solve.
Sir, it's 45570.87 feet.
45570
.87 feet.
Okay. What do I do with this number? What do I do with this number? It means something. It means it is conversion of the height that I have to reduce. Reduce in how much time? This is the height that I have to reduce in traveling that many nautical miles. How many nautical miles? Worth of my ground speed. How much? 150. So what is my rate of descent unit? It's feet per minute. And what is the unit in my airspeed? It is knots, that is nautical miles per hour. So I know the basic conversion to be done and I have a number in feet. which is giving me a distance traveled in an hour and a vertical height missed in an hour. So how much will I miss or drop vertically in a minute? All I have to do is try and play with this and see if I get an answer. I divide it by 60 to get my vertical drop in feet per minute. By converting the nautical miles in feet and knowing that that feet distance is lost in 1 hour because the speed is measured hourly. So my answer that I get is 759 feet per minute. It is closer to the first option, 750 feet per minute. Take your time and understand these are more frequently to be answered. The other questions that you are not able to solve, you could say they could be ATPL level also, but they are not difficult to solve. It's just multi-step that, okay, you have to practice before you can solve it on your own. I don't blame you either there. But this is something new that you need to learn right now. And tell me if you have understood it or not. प्रेरित आप भी वीडियो रखा करते थे ऑन, आपने क्यों बंद कर दिया अचानक से? Like I thought it was one off. But ठीक है, if you have any issues. Suchita, are you following the question? Students, anybody wants me to write down the question for you on the screen? I hope, because you have given the test, I'm sure you have. If you don't have, then I will share the test again. You can get a printout of it, of the question paper, right? Or you can just save it as a PDF, like screenshots and PDF or whatever. चैतन्य समझ आया? परसेंटेज थोड़ा ट्रिकी है, एक और मैं फिर से आपको बता दूं. If I have 4% my glide slope, 4%, and if my ground speed is 180 knots. Now remember, questions can give you a headwind tailwind component also. Okay, questions can give you more components and help you confuse. So you don't directly have to jump solving. You have to take care of it. Like, okay, fine. It is not easy. I have to do the long, hard work. And okay, I know how to do it. So if my ground speed is 180 knots, find my ROD. People are like, okay, are you crazy? Have you given me anything? Yes, you have given me a calculator. You have given me knowledge. Now I need to work my mind because the question clearly has not given me much to solve. But now I know how to solve this. So let's try and do it and everybody give a correct answer. If you don't know, ask for hints. I can help you come up with hints. Anything it takes for you to trigger your mind to come up with yourself the solutions. I can show you 10 proper solutions doing, but if it doesn't trigger how to do it, you will still not learn. And I don't follow that path. What is the ROD you need on a 4% glide slope at a ground speed of 180 knots? So now I know that I need to find out the value 4 divided by 100 into 180. So I get 7.2 knots. So I know in 1 hour, when I am crossing 180 nautical miles, I am dropping a vertical distance of 7.2 nautical miles. 7.2 nautical miles in feet. I need conversion. Here you can directly multiply by 6,000 also. Or you use CX3. I suggest you use CX3. But someone who doesn't want to jump to CX3, who just wants to play with the the scientific calci to continue solving, would be 7.2 into 6,000 is equal to 43200. And this 43200 directly I'll do divide by 60. I get my answer direct right there doing this much, students. Not even 10 seconds, 20 seconds. What have you taken with respect to your feet conversion? Chaitanya, your answer, my answer, 10 feet difference. But I don't mind. It's a close gap. Very good. Gulshan, hardly. Yours and mine is 9 feet per minute. Very good. So I can see you're following CX3. Very nice to see that because your answer is more accurate. I did it with 6,000. I got 720, but we both have correct answers. We hope so with respect to our options, and our options will not be that close. So you be ready with both. What if you have 720 exam because the examiner set it as 6,000 rounded off?
Sir, can you explain after 7.2 nautical miles, what did you do?
Good. Any doubts? Any questions?
Sir,
Mm-hmm. Please go ahead.
sir, can you explain after 7.2 nautical miles?
This is in nautical miles. Convert it into feet.
Just a conversion.
Yeah, feet. And this much you have lost in 1 hour while your rate of descent is feet per minute. So whatever answer you get, or this also you divide by 60, whatever you get, you convert that into feet. That directly will also give you answer. Like 7.2 divided by 60 you do. 432 you get. How will you get that? It's multiplied. Sorry. 7.2 divided by 60. You get 0.12. Now 0.12 into 6,000 because this is nautical miles. I still get 720 as my answer. What we are doing is, Suchita, be careful in listening to this. 4% glide slope will mean at a airspeed of 180 knots or whatever ground speed 180 knots. It means that whatever 4% value is of 180 knots, 180 knots is nautical miles per hour. So whatever the value is, that value is the distance of vertical travel. That is your vertical height you have to lose or you will lose by the time you cross 180 nautical miles. And how much is that time? 180 nautical miles, 180 knots, that time is 1 hour. So whatever height you have found that height per hour that the aircraft is going to lose to maintain that glide slope, which is right now referred to as 4% glide slope. It's not given to us in degrees. If it was given to us in degrees, we directly have a formula for that. Here it has been given to us in percent. Problem is, right now, the value that I have got, 7.2 nautical miles vertical drop, that is feet per hour. I need feet per minute. So in order to convert anything per hour to anything per minute, you divide it by 60. So 7.2 divided by 60, I'm getting 0.12 nautical miles. Now this, if you convert in feet, because the unit is feet per minute, now this you convert in feet. What do you get? You get 720 feet. Why? Because I've taken 6,000 as 1 nautical mile, 6,000 feet conversion, which is a rounded off value given for ground studies generally in textbooks. But then we learn to do it accurately from CX3, so we see the variation. Because CX3 will take 6080 or 6076, something like that. So have you understood this, Uchita? What's happening here?
Affirm, sir.
गुलशन, क्वेश्चन आंसर समझ आए, सोल्यूशन समझ आई, कुछ नया सीख रहे हैं? अच्छा
Yes,
आज
sir.
आपने अटेंड किया, नहीं तो ये भी मिस कर जाते आप. चलो. There's this one question I wanted to discuss. Yeah. Write down. You are on an ILS 3-degree glide slope, 3-degree glide slope, which passes over the runway threshold at 50 feet. 50 feet above runway. Okay. Your DME range is 25 nautical miles from threshold. From threshold, and the glide slope is also 50 feet above the runway threshold only. What is your height above the runway threshold elevation? Students, when I think about it, I know it's a game of plus or minus. Why? Because my visualization shows me that this is my runway. 50 feet above the runway, my glide slope begins. And the range from the runway is 25 nautical miles. Find the height. Now I know my height is vertical distance measured from ground. So whatever height I'm going to find from my 3-degree glide slope 1/60 formula, this height plus 50 feet is all that I have to do to give my aircraft height, because aircraft height will not be measured from the threshold or the 50 feet above the threshold where the glide slope antenna is fitted. The glide slope antenna is fitted at a height. See, let's see if the theory is right. Now you know the formula. This is 25 nautical miles. This is 3 degrees height. You know, theta is equal to opposite upon adjacent into 60. So many times we have done that. Whatever your answer is, the opposite is the height that you need to do. This opposite will have plus 50 feet in the end. Remember, that's it. That's all that you need to remember. And understand to convert the units in case you have to, okay. क्या है इसका आंसर students? Give me answers in the chat box, everyone. आंसर्स तो किसी के भी नहीं आ रहे हैं सही. आई थिंक कोई प्रिंटिंग एरर तो नहीं है. मैं चेक कर रहा हूँ. एक सेकंड. आई एम श्योर सब लोग एक साथ गलत नहीं हो सकता. हाँ, हाउ अबाउट दैट? प्रेरित.
Yes, sir.
टेल मी आपने कैसे सॉल्व किया है. वॉक मी थ्रू. सो यू हैव अप्लाइड द फॉर्मूला.
Sir, I have applied the direct formula of taking out height for 3-degree glide slope.
What is the direct formula?
Sir, height equals to 3 into 100 into 25. The range in nautical miles.
So basically ये डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला कहाँ से आया आपके पास?
Sir, you only told in past lectures.
Students, who knows about the direct formula? सिर्फ प्रेरित को याद है क्या? बाकी सबको नहीं है याद. Let's remind ourselves of the direct formula. Height is equal to ground speed into 100 into range in nautical miles. To find height, if range is if although there is another method to do it, of course, we know how to do it, right? We also have the formula, 1 by 60 basic formula. Solve as per this formula, but make sure your units are changed. Direct formula is simple. Height is equal to glide slope into 100 into range in nautical mile. इस हिसाब से अगर मैं कर रहा हूँ और मैं 1/60 के हिसाब से भी करना चाह रहा हूँ, तो 1/60 will give me what? Opposite is equal to 3 into adjacent. What is adjacent? 25 nautical miles. 25 into 6000 in feet मैं करके रखता हूँ इसको डायरेक्ट, तो मेरा आंसर डायरेक्ट मुझे फीट में आ जाएगा, क्योंकि मैं CX3 नहीं यूज कर रहा हूँ इसलिए दिखा रहा हूँ आपको बस. आप CX3 से कन्वर्ट करके डायरेक्ट वैल्यू डाल सकते हो, बाद में चेंज कर सकते हो वैल्यू, बट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर टू चेंज द वैल्यू. एंड इनटू 60, राइट? दोनों तरीके से हम सॉल्व करके देखते हैं, डायरेक्ट भी करते हैं, ट्रेडिशनल भी करके देखते हैं, एंड पता करते हैं आंसर कैसे आ रहा है, हमें क्या आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है. लेट्स डू इट. ग्लाइड स्लोप इज 3 degrees. 3 degrees multiplied by 100 multiplied by range in nautical mile direct 25. I get 7500. आई थिंक सबको ये आंसर आ रहा है. And let's try to do it from this method. "25 nautical miles in feet is 150,000 into 3 into 60. Something else altogether, huh? Something is not right.
So 60 will come down.
Exactly. Thank you. So let's divide 3 into 3 divide by 60. 7500. प्रेरित फिर क्या किया आपने, बताओ?
Sir, I subtracted 50 feet from this answer. So because I thought it is asking for 50 feet above the ground.
तो अगर आप लोग प्लस कर रहे हो तो आपको आंसर क्या आ रहा है? प्लस 50 feet. You're getting answer as 7550. बट ऑप्शंस में वो करेक्ट नहीं आ रहा है ना. आई थिंक ऑप्शंस में आपको क्या आ रहा है यहाँ पे? Anybody who is getting this answer so far, your calculation is correct. And yeah. And you have that option to be marked. Very good. So let me cross check who's right. If yes, then you get extra marks in the exam test. I can automatically change it in the master sheet and your scores will increase. You don't have to do anything there. Let me check. Okay, let's see. तो प्रेरित, अगर हम आपको बोल रहे हैं कि थ्रेशोल्ड के ऊपर है 50 फीट, तो आपका हाइट में आपको 50 फीट ऐड करना है, तो 7500 आना चाहिए. तो आपको 7450 कैसे आ रहा है, मैं पूछ रहा हूँ?
So, sir, at the exam time, I thought in this way, so I shared that.
क्या वे शेयर किया आपने एग्जाम में?
Sir, I thought that it is asking for the height above the ground, 50 feet above the ground.
तो आपको लग रहा था हाइट अबाउ द थ्रेशोल्ड.
Yes, sir.
आपने दिया. तो हाइट अबाउ द थ्रेशोल्ड तो यही होगा ना, 7500, क्योंकि फॉर्मूला तो हमें वही दे रहा है. The vertical.
So maybe I can be wrong.
क्या बोल रहे हो?
So maybe I
Students,
am wrong.
wrong की बात तो नहीं है. It's okay. Students, you are missing out a very important point here. Okay. I'll tell you about it, okay? But think, what if there was a logic that you're missing in the question itself? Just think about it. You have to add that height. You cannot change adding that height. So you have 7,500 feet. Can anyone tell me what is the ROD per nautical mile for this equation? ROD per nautical mile. We have a way to calculate ROD per nautical mile. And I'll tell you, to make a good glide slope angle, ROD per nautical mile.
300 feet per nautical mile.
Sorry, say again.
So 300 feet per nautical mile.
Very good. 300 feet per nautical mile. How did you find it?
So 100 into glide slope angle.
The formula is very simple. Students, make a note of it. Formula is 100 into glide slope. It's a very simple thing we tend to forget. Okay. Your rate of descent is correct. Your height is correct as per the formula. Now, you have to understand that for touchdown, and that is the height, this is your correct answer, students. 7500. There's no other way you can find 7450 here. So I think this equation, I'll fix it right now, and we can, I think, change the outcome, and you get one more mark, where I think someone who has not scored 70 due to 1 mark would be able to score 70. But what are we learning? We're learning two important things. There's the direct formula, which will help us for 3-degree glide slopes. And then we remember how to calculate rate of descent per nautical mile also. It seems tricky if you don't remember the direct formula. You'll have to do a lot of conversions and you might not have that much of time. But if you were able to remember and then solve in the test, then I'm very proud of your students. So very good. It's what? It's question number 24. These are important questions, students. If you're able to solve these, you're good. I think these are from reference. You can always do Oxford textbooks for these type of questions. And let me change the answer 24. I think majority 6 students got it right to Charlie. So in the Oxford textbook also, I think this is incorrectly marked as in the master key. So be aware when you're referring the textbook. The correct answer is 7550. So I'm changing it right now. How do I change it? 1 second, okay? Okay. Done. So the correct option as per your test is option number 3, 7550. Okay. Good job, everyone. See, we tried. Now, these are the times when you'll see there are misprints everywhere and people do make mistakes, human error. So you cannot say everybody is wrong. But we have to be careful about a lot of misprints, students. I've come across a lot of misprints that I've fixed in my notes that I give you, or like whatever you study. But still, you'll come across a lot of things. We also make mistakes, right? हमसे कितनी गलतियां होती हैं यहाँ वहाँ. But yeah, be careful that तुम्हें पता हो correct answer क्या है. So that is done. Easy, I think most of you all got it right. Now if I check. Five correct answers I've got on those. So 3 incorrect, 4 incorrect. I think 3 incorrect answers. Okay. Good. I've got some questions where everybody has got all answers correct. There are a few more questions that are to do with your time. Okay, I'm just checking the ones that you have all got wrong. And with respect to where you are supposed to cross a VR DME ground station, right? And I think these questions are where not everybody has got wrong, but 30, 40, 50% is the thing. There's this question that 5 of you all have not got right. So I will just read it out. The distance between two waypoints is 200 nautical miles. To calculate compass heading, the pilot used 2-degree east magnetic variation instead of 2-degree west. Assuming that the forecast of the wind vector was applied, what will the off-track distance be of the second waypoint? Students, I got a hint with respect to diagrams that I have made following 1/60 with this. When I had not started reading the question, I was clueless what's going to happen. I'm reading it again. See if you get a picture in your mind that is being made with respect to a sketch. So 2 waypoint distance, 200 nautical miles could be the range. The shape that I'm talking about is the shape of 1/60. Just saying, okay, just think about it. And what you have done is you have incorrectly made the correction of 2 degrees east to 2 degrees west. You're like, what am I supposed to do here? But here the variation value is 2 degrees. But instead of east, you have applied it west. So variation east magnetic least was the case. And you have followed a lower magnetic value where you have supposed to following a higher magnetic value, variation west, magnetic best. So that way you know that relationship, okay, I should have had a higher value, I have a lower value. But is that going to affect this in any way? No. They are asking, how much is your distance off track at the second waypoint? So I can see if this is my waypoint 1, this is my waypoint 2, okay, this is 200 nautical miles for me, okay, east, 2-degree east, I would have decreased my heading, applying for 2 degrees east variation, applying for variation, applying for 2-degree west variation, I would have be on this track, 2-degree difference on my track. Now they are saying you have applied this correction instead of this. So you are going to be drifted on this track right now. Instead of being corrected on this track, you are drifted on this track right now. So you were on this track is the assumption right now. A student who has not done it in the exam could think, should I account for 4 degree off track or should I account for 2 degree off track? Anybody who's not thinking about 4 degree, fine. Someone who's thinking way ahead can think about 4 degree also. But no, it's about 2 degree because this is your present track right now, this one. So you are here right now. So 2 degree off track. So this here, till the time they are asking how much off track you will be if you continue with this mistake, reaching 200 nautical miles. So this gives you a formula. Distance to go, distance off track, same. 2 degree is equal to this distance off track upon distance to go into 60. Now I don't need to worry about feet or minute because here distance off track I'll get in nautical miles only directly. So I'll just try and think, is it applicable? I just got a picture in mind reading the question that it could be related to my 1/60 triangles. And then it is working in that favor right now. So distance of track 2 into 200 upon 60. I'm never worried about getting it right or wrong. I'm thinking, what am I gonna get? And will it match with my options if I'm following the strategy? If it matches my options, I'm like, okay, I've done the correct thing. Let's redo it and check if I've not made any mistake. I'm just saying this is how the approach in the exam should be generally, but I'm not saying that you are doing anything wrong. I'm just sharing my thoughts. What do I get here for 2 degrees? I'm getting 6.66 nautical miles. Rounded off, you can say it's 7 nautical miles. नहीं उसमें like okay हमने 7 ही लिखा था but हमारा गलत आ गया. So now think 4 डिग्री का तो थॉट आके गया था ना मेरे पास. यहाँ पे हिंट है क्वेश्चन में assuming that the forecast wind vector applied. इसका मतलब है you have corrected for whatever drift you had. Whatever corrections you had to make, you have applied for them, but you have just done it in the wrong direction. That is the reason you're going to be off track. So instead of being on this, you are going to be here. So the total angle that you need right now is 4 degrees to measure your off track. And now this is something that we are like, okay, I thought it could be 4 degrees, but I didn't know. I went with 2 degrees. And now that you know the correct answer, you're like, okay, so this is how it is to be understood. If I would have applied 2 degree east instead of 3 degrees west, then the value would have been 5 degrees. If I would have applied 3 degrees east instead of 5 degrees west, the value would have been 8 degrees. So this is what you pick up. And you study the question this way so that in the exam, you can quickly answer this question. So you don't take 2 degrees, you take 4 degrees and then you solve. Try to find the answer. 4 into 200 divided by 60. 13.33 nautical miles. Round off 14 nautical miles. This is the correct answer. So you pick this up from this and see if you can solve a couple of more questions like this. If you are confused, let me know. The key is that the forecast of wind vector has been applied. And that means you have accounted or allowed or whatever you have done, it's already done for you. And instead of, it's a longitude issue, it's a position-based issue basically, applying wrong variation corrections to a magnetic heading and all. But see the track, how we reach there, even if we have to solve from your point of view. But I'm happy that 3 students were able to find the correct answer. So I like that. It's not like not everybody is able to solve it. One student said 0 nautical miles. So they didn't think there was any off-track thing happening. But we have used wrong correction values. So some off-track will always obviously happen. Okay, students. So I like this, but these are easy ones. Okay. Second. What is this? These students, if you have any doubts related to these questions, the distance between two waypoints, 200 nautical miles. Cross-checking a reference. See, the simple explanation, what you could say is that error in variation applied. So we were correct that the error in variation applied overall is 2 degrees east plus 2 degrees west. So the total error in variation is 4 degrees. So you coin a term total error in variation for such questions, so that you can add or subtract cases B. Let's say you have to do 5-degree variation, but you did 3-degree variation application. So the difference you'll have to calculate there and you'll get 2 degrees there, the error. Then your answer would be different. Here, because east-west error you have got, you can add both. But let's say you have another equation where instead of 5, you have applied 3 degree. So the difference that is left for you to apply is 2 degrees. So you find the error based upon that difference. So you get a distance off track that you will be. So total error in variation. So here you can write down distance off is equal to total error in variation into what? So based upon your equation, you solve, okay? Students, be very careful, okay? Because these are the simple ones, I can say. Nothing very difficult about it. The ones that are complicated, of course, I can see and say, fine, if you cannot do it, I'll show you how to do it. In the end, you'll end up saying, yeah, sir, it was not that difficult. But then this gradient of slope, I'll be showing you. One person got it right. I'm very happy to see that. This gradient of slope is also something to do with your percentage type of questions only. And then maintain a glide slope, mark the correct statement. Okay, fine. And those are the only ones, like decrease ground speed, increase ROD, decrease ground speed, decrease ROD, increase ground speed, increase ROD. So I don't think इस पे किसी को doubt होना चाहिए. One student marked decrease ground speed, increase ROD as correct. And then approaching destination airport, glide slope 5.5%, you reduce ground speed from 120 knots to 100 knots and 10 knots. So reduction in ground speed is 10 knots. So what change should you make to your ROD? So change should be decrease. So you'll reduce the rate of descent 5.5. So there's the direct formula. change in ROD is equal to phi into change in speed for 3-degree glide slope only. For non-3-degree glide slope, you have to do the reverse multiplication. So I hope here only one student got it wrong, 50 feet per minute, but here the answer is 92 feet per minute. To solve it correctly, you have to first find your actual rate of descent also you can find, but here you have the formulas. You don't need to find actual and then find the difference between the two. So you just put it in the formula, you have to multiply it by 5.5 divided by 3 in the end. So the same thing that you follow, the direct formula for 3-degree, non-3-degree glide slope, the same thing you have to do here. I hope you're following, students. I am not taking names because I know jiska jo applicable hai wo hai. So you focus on that. There's one question on a 5.5-degree glide slope at 3 miles from touchdown, safe height is. Yeah, one student has got it right, wrong. Everybody got it right. It's miles. Here it means nautical miles only, I guess. Or have you converted it into nautical miles? What's the confusion? It could be either one of the two only, I guess. But make sure it's a simple question. 1 by 360 only, safe height is that only. 1650 feet is the correct answer. And this question, an aircraft is flying from aerodrome A to aerodrome B, planned track 074 magnetic, required track magnetic 074. And distance A to B is 70 nautical miles. Your heading is 065. So you can account for the wind or you have accounted for the drift right now. So you can anticipate if your heading is less, if your planned track is more, then you have turned left. Why have you turned left? To allow for which drift? So that you don't get drifted on the starboard side. So you have corrected yourself on the port side. This thought should come to you instantly by the time you reach this question, students.
Sir, which question number is this?
It's 37. Students, मैं question point to point read कर रहा हूँ. So at least we understand the question when we make a sketch. आगे क्या होता है पता नहीं. Question तो हम start करें ना ऐसा पढ़ने का. A to B planned required track is 074 planned track. Distance is 70 nautical miles. My heading is 065. My heading and planned track is different. So I know I have corrected for the wind. So my heading is less 065. It means I have applied for the drift on the left. Which drift do I apply on the left? On the right drift, I'll correct on the left side. So my wind is coming from the left side. So I move into the wind to correct. But question में क्या पूछे पता नहीं. आगे चलते हैं. Question में क्या पूछ रहे हैं? Having flown 30 nautical miles. So you know you are almost somewhere in the track. So it's just like distance on, distance off wala question. Still you think the pilot pinpoints the aircraft position overhead aerodrome C, which is 4 nautical mile left of planned track. So they are saying the aircraft they have found out on aerodrome C, which was 4 nautical miles left of planned track. It means distance off is 4 nautical miles. Distance gone is 30 degrees. They are asking you two questions. What is the track error overhead? It's so simple to find out the track error angle is distance off upon distance gone. So distance off is 4 nautical miles. Distance gone is 30. You get that. You know you're on the left side. So 3 options are left and all 3 options are 8 degree left, 8 degree left, 8 degree left. Obviously you've got 8 degree here then as an answer. Next part is, what is the track made good from A? Now understand it's on the left side, so it will be smaller than the required track. It's the required track from where you have to compare it. So 074 minus 8 degrees, 066. Got it. Heading का क्या ही लेना देना track से? मिल गया answer A. Simple है students. Don't worry, सब कुछ इतनी आसानी से हो जाएगा. Right now I have overstretched the session so that majority हम कर पाए. The ones that are complicated that you need, of course जो बचे हैं वो will do it again. Probably Monday we'll do a session. और कुछ बीच में time मिलेगा तो I'll announce, I'll check with you all and do more. Until then students पढ़ते रहो. Please सिर्फ अच्छे से पढ़ो एंड मेक श्योर कि अपने आप को आप चैलेंज करते रहो एंड फोकस ऑन मेरी एबिलिटी से कैसे कोई भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकता हूँ, मैं वो एबिलिटी कैसे बनाऊं। वो ऐसे बनेंगी जैसे जैसे आपको अपने वीकनेसेस मिलेंगे, कंफ्यूजन्स मिलेंगी, टफ क्वेश्चंस मिलेंगे, उस पर काम करके ही वो होगा। तो ये मत सोचो आप रेडी हो गए हो, और ये मत सोचो यू आर अल्टीमेटली रेडी स्टूडेंट्स राइट नाउ। से मुझे टाइम है रेडी होने के लिए, अब तक तो सिर्फ मैंने ऊपर ऊपर का किया है। इतना ही आपको अपने ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस लाना है कि एक लेवल तक ही मैंने किया है, अब मुझे और सीखना है। तो कहीं पे भी यू आर स्टक, स्टार्ट रिसर्चिंग इनटू इट, लाइक क्या हो रहा है सर, मेरे को आप बताओ, मैं भी ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मेरे को नहीं मिल रहा है। मैं बताऊंगा, मैं तो बता दूंगा, बट तू खुद से ढूंढने की ट्राई कर। ज्यादा से ज्यादा मैं यही बोलूंगा आपको परेशान करने के लिए, बिकॉज आई नो इट कैन बी फाउंड इन द टेक्स्ट बुक। तो आप बोले थे मैं ट्राई किया, नहीं मिल रहा है, प्लीज मेरे को बता दो। मैं बोला ठीक है चलो बताते हैं, बट यू ट्राई योर बेस्ट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। आज नहीं तो कल आपको ये बहुत काम आएगा, बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको। बहुत मजा आएगा आपको ऐसे एग्जाम्स क्लियर करने में। तो अभी जो कर रहे हो आप लोग अच्छा कर रहे हो। ओवरऑल आई जस्ट टेक अ मिनट टू चेक योर स्कोर्स अगेन वंस, इंडिविजुअल। So how much is 70 out of 40? It's 28, right? Okay. So Muskan's score I'm checking. She's not here today. Rohita's score I'm checking. Very good. Vishnupriya, very good. Vishnupriya has got one of the highest. I'm not sure if she's there in the class. Karishma, Chaitanya. Hmm, score. What is that question number that we have corrected? It's 24, right? It's 24. 1 second. चैतन्य आपने 6450 लिख दिया था यहाँ पे, इसलिए आपको एक पॉइंट नहीं मिला है। मुझे लगा आपको यहाँ एक पॉइंट मिलेगा। आई वॉज होपिंग आपको मिले। आपका 6450 कैसे आया, इस पे डाउट तो नहीं है ना चैतन्य? कुछ कुछ सिली मिस्टेक हुई होगी कैलकुलेशन में, क्योंकि अभी तो आपको 7550 करेक्ट आया। आपने सॉल्व किया तब मेरे को आंसर भेजा, आपने करेक्ट ही भेजा, तो एग्जाम में कैसे 6450 आया आपको?
अब याद नहीं सर, फिलहाल तो आई हैव करेक्टेड।
नहीं, बट आपने रिसर्च किया होगा ना इस पे।
सर शायद क्वेश्चन पढ़ने में कोई मिस्टेक होगी, बिकॉज इट इज क्लियरली सेइंग अबव द थ्रेशोल्ड लेवल। सो अबव मतलब 50 फीट का देयर इज
लेकिन फिर भी 6500 कैसे आ रहा है ना चैतन्य? 700 में आता तो चल जाता, 6450 होता तो समझ जाता वहां, बट 6750 होता तो समझ जाता। 6000 कैसे आ रहा है हमारा? वो 550 फीट भूल जाओ आप, आंसर 6000 में कैसे आ रहा है मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ। एक बार आप चेक करना, दोबारा से मिस्टेक रिपीट नहीं हो रही है, मतलब कोई सिली मिस्टेक होगी जो यू आर नॉट एबल टू फिगर आउट। कहीं फॉर्मूला तो गलत नहीं लिखा है?
ओके सर, आई विल।
नहीं, अभी तो क्या ही चेक करोगे, अभी कर रहे हैं ना अपन, इतना कर लिया अपन ने। कहीं फॉर्मूला तो गलत नहीं लिखा है, बिकॉज अभी तुमने ये सही किया है जब जूम चैट पे आंसर्स दिया। मैं वही चेक कर रहा था तुम्हारा पॉइंट बढ़ा क्यों नहीं, तो मेरे को अभी समझ आया कि ये मिस्टेक तो आपने कुछ अलग ही किया है यहाँ पे। 6450। हम्म। अभी आपने से करेक्ट दिया आंसर, तो आई नो हाउ टू सॉल्व इट। वहां पे कुछ कंफ्यूजन थी आपको शायद। चलो कोई बात नहीं, गुड जॉब। Almost there on borderline students. Nobody has scored below borderline, I can say. So very good for everyone. Like किसी ने भी अगर borderline से कम किया है तो 1 या 2 मार्क्स है. Like the lowest score also is, if I have to say, then would not be very far away from 28. Highest तो बता सकता हूँ मैं. Highest is 35. तो मेरे लिए कोई कंपटीशन की बात नहीं है, बट अच्छा लगता है यार जब आपको पता होता है आपने करेक्ट लाया है। 2 students have scored 35, and then 1 student scored 33, and then ठीक है. Minimum, I think it's 27 or 26. Wait. 28 students on the borderline. 34 is the next highest score, not 33. 27, I guess, is the Okay, so the student who got 27 first has reappeared in the test and got 35. So many students are doing that. तो फिर भी 5 नहीं आ रहे तो सोचो हमें वापस से करना है मेहनत. So anybody who wants to increase your scores, you could revisit the test and do it again in future before exams. इतना फ्रेश करोगे तो करेक्ट ही आएगा, थोड़ा लेट करोगे तो शायद टेस्ट रहेगा. बाकी रिमेनिंग क्वेश्चंस विल बी सॉल्विंग अगेन. सो डोंट वरी अबाउट द अमाउंट ऑफ स्कोर्स. जो मिस्टेक्स है उस पर काम करना. आई थिंक 5 से 6 हो गई है, 5 से 6 बची है, वो हो जाएगा आपका 1/60 थरो हो गया. उसके बाद भी कुछ डाउट्स आएंगे बताना मुझे आप लोग. And I think we can then jump on to more complicated equations for other topics. With respect to direction finding also, mass and balance also, that's on our hit list right now. So direction finding में आपका VOR indicators हो गया. Glide slope indicator related भी आपको exam देना. So yeah, 26 I think is the lowest. So no problem. Don't worry student. Study hard and ऐसे request करते रहो, कुछ चाहिए तो तुम्हें. I'll see if we can sneak in time and do more, then we'll do more than what is scheduled for you. And next मुझे सबका आंसर 85 चाहिए, 85 90 चाहिए. तो उस हिसाब से अपनी प्रेपरेशन का माइंडसेट रखो. प्लीज 70 एम मत करो, 90 एम करो. इवन इन आर प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट 90 एम करो. मैं प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट आपको बहुत टफ लेवल के ही दे रहा हूँ ताकि एग्जाम के क्वेश्चंस आपको आसान लगे. समझ रहे हो? चलो स्टूडेंट्स, आई विल टेक योर लीव and I'll see you soon, okay? Drop me anything that you need as a message request. Well done, everyone. Very happy to see how we went about this. I'm hoping the next sessions will be much more quicker, whatever we'll be doing based upon tests. Chalo, next session we'll solve and then we'll continue with our chapter or our solution for next topic. That's the idea. So first hour या 30 minutes में अगर कर लिए doubts बचे हुए तो अच्छा रहेगा. तो 1 घंटा फिर हम दूसरा टॉपिक कर सकेंगे. ठीक है स्टूडेंट्स, चलो टेक केयर एवरीवन. बाय. चैतन्य, नाइस टू सी यू. गुलशन, प्रेरित, नाइस टू सी यू. प्लीज कंटिन्यू दिस हैबिट फॉर नेक्स्ट फ्यू सेशंस subsequently, okay? चलो, बाय एवरीवन, आई विल सी यू.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Nice
sir.
to-